1 2 1 2. That shit's so funny. I gotta run it back. Hey yo, what's up everybody? This is BrainPower. I'm right here with my brother Lex 1. We've been doing this every 2 weeks. I believe this is episode 5 of Bro Hype. And today we have a very special guest with us. So Lex, why don't you do the honors?
Yes.
Let us know who that is.
We have the one and only, the one, the only Vulcan the Crusader. I know him as Rob. He's known as a lot of other things. All those things are dope. And if you have anything else to say, that's what you get. No, but for real, Rob is here today, and we've been really, really hyped about this episode because he is involved in a new company that handles something incredibly dope. It's collector related. Actually, it's collector based, not even related. Like, this is for the collectors here. And if you've seen my previous episode of No Hype, where I interviewed the master grader Lee Roper from his same company that he comes from, now they're doing grading for vinyl, cassettes, CDs,
8-track.
Wow.
8-track. What about VHS?
We're even doing reel to reel.
Reel to reel. How about DVDs?
Oh, CAS already did that. So that's where it kind of stemmed from in the beginning, you know. But yeah, let's get into it, man.
Yeah. So he's here, and we're just gonna talk. We're gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna do what we normally do. Just have a good conversation, no pressure, and just keep the vibe going.
So this is Bro Hype, episode 5 with Rob, Lex 1, and BrainPower. We're just gonna talk collectibles, man. So Rob, hey yo, so before we get into all the collectible stuff, I just wanna talk about what we rock today, what we do every now and then. Hey yo, Lex, I know you're rocking a brand new shirt, so let us know what that shirt is all about, man.
Yo, I'm rocking a brand new Fashion Rebel shirt, right? Would that be official to call it Fashion Rebel? Just other shit, right? Fashion Rebel, that's your thing.
I guess, man. I guess you could call me a fashion guy, but I wear everything, dude. If it's a $2 shirt and it looks dope, I'm gonna fucking wear it, But Lex is always ahead of the curve with this fashion shit, though. Like, even before me, I would say. So he's the god, bro.
Nah. I like shit. That's all. But yeah, I guess we could say Fashion Rebel. Griselda is kind of confused, but it's all encompassing. So, every now and then, West Side Gun gets behind somebody or something. Like, they're not signed to the label, but he's like, yo, I'm going to curate this. This is dope. He recently did that with Esty Knack from Boston. Did you peep that project?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
It was good. I mean, Griselda's always, like, bringing that street shit and bringing back real hip-hop lyricism back to the culture. And that's what I appreciate about those guys.
Definitely.
Yeah. So he did that, and I really enjoyed the project. And then there was a clothing drop, like, immediately. So I was like, I'm going to cop it, So the first 2 new things that are not, like, thrift store related or polo that I copped in years were Griselda related things. The fit feels great. The quality is, like, super heavyweight. And you see the collar right here?
Yeah.
That's very important to me. I don't like that loose collar shit. I can't get down with that. So yeah, anyway, I copped that. So that's what I'm rocking. But I see you got some fire on. Literally.
I was at the Wu-Tang Clan and Nas show. They were in Amsterdam this week. They played the Ziggo Dome, and it was a phenomenal show. It was fire. People, all ages, everybody was there. Like, it was a fully packed house. They did like a 2.5-hour show, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little under that mark. And they had some dope merch for sale. So my man that I was there with, he gave me this Nas shirt, and I really love this shirt because it has this like 80s cult vibe, New York, like cult movie kind of vibe, meets early 90s Nas logo, but it's definitely a 2023 shirt. Has like mad tour dates on the back, and it's we'll insert a picture of that. But I just wanted to show that off because it's actually a great fit, high quality cotton, dope ass print, and even Rob was saying something about it before we started filming this episode. So I just wanted to shine some light on this shirt, my brother. Hey Rob, what you rocking, bro?
Well, I'm just rocking a old Phoenix Coyote hockey jersey. As you know, hockey jersey started trending in hip hop in the golden era, the 90s. So a big baggy fit, but I wanted to plug my man Kamal, who is making these amazing hats in New York. You know, this is called the Allah Racing hat, and this kid is up next. Like,
that's dope. Is he from Miami?
Nah, he's from New York. He's
what's the 7? Because he's the 786.
Yeah. So, you know, it brings a lot about that 5% vibe as well. I like that about it. And that's his logo. But this is up next. Like, you know how Off-White came out of nowhere? Kamal. You'll probably hear about him in a couple years.
It's dope, man.
I always have my Gucci sling bag. They call it a man purse nowadays, I guess.
A merce?
Yeah, and some Balenciaga sneakers. The chunky dad ones, you know.
We're chunky dads now, bro. Minus the dad.
I don't got no kids, but I'll be a dad soon.
I got a fur kid right there.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
So yeah, man. So basically...
Hey, Lex, wait up.
The name of the company is...
What are the logos on your hat, though? It looks like one of the logos could be Amsterdam logo.
This is a Stussy hat. So... You know, they're on some worldwide shit. And if you're asking me about flags, I have no clue.
Black thing looks like a XXX Amsterdam sign, but I'm not sure because I can't really see through the camera. But yeah, we'll check that out later.
I mean, I'd be the worst person to ask. Remember, I have an American education, so unless it has some red, white, and blue on it, I have no clue what the flag is.
Next.
Let's
dive into Rob's knowledge, and I want to know right off the bat, how did you get into this whole realm of collecting? We're going to move into the grading later, but tell us about yourself as a collector and let the people know what you're really about as far as that.
Well, I started collecting pretty much when I was a kid. The first thing that comes to mind is cassettes. My cousin Mario handed me a De La Soul tape. And it was the first album, which is, I always forget the name of this album.
3 Feet High and Rising?
3 Feet High and Rising, yeah. And he gave me that. Me, Myself, and I was like the first single, I think. That's the first literal video I ever seen when I was a little kid, hip-hop music. So that tape made me want to listen to more hip-hop. I started listening to Tribe, and I started stealing tapes from record stores. That was a little booster, you know? So my collection would be in my room. I'm 12 years old, and all these cassettes would be lining up. My mom would be like, where's this kid getting these cassettes? And I would tell her I'd be working little odd jobs at 12 years old. I wasn't. I was just stealing. And that was my first collection, I would feel, where I was like, something was gradually growing, and I liked the look of it. Kind of like a little museum, I guess you could say. Like Lex says, this is his museum. So that's how it started, my love for hip-hop and collecting. As I got older, I got into toys. I collect vintage TMNT. So if you go into my room, you'll see this vintage collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the top in the world probably. I own all the really high-end figures. We're talking $20,000, $15,000 figures.
Wow.
Scratch the Cap. So I got really into that, and then as I got older, it was the vinyl, because I couldn't afford it as a child. It's kind of like...
It's a luxury item, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely was when we were growing up. You couldn't get the vinyl. You could get the cassette because it was cheaper. So that was around age, I would say 18, 19, 20 when I got into vinyl. And I started finding out about sampling with my music that I started to do in college. And the eventual song that I got a platinum plaque for with A$AP Rocky was from a Platters vinyl. And I sampled it from the Platters vinyl. I don't know who the Platters were, but that was because I was going to thrift stores and buying 25-cent vinyls to just listen to it and try to find loops. And that's always another part of my collecting journey. And then from there is how I met Lex. Around 21, 22, 23, I didn't have a lot of cool shoes growing up. We were broke as hell. We were on welfare. And I started collecting all the shoes that I never could get as a child.
I hear that.
So that's how I got into sneakers. And I met Lex, right, at Dunk Exchange. And lo and behold, I moved to New York.
Was that the J. the Damager one?
I think so. That's where we first met, because you were in a rap group with Mike, right?
Yep, Third World Dawn. Now, he used to be Mike Beats. Now he's Third World Dawn.
Oh, okay, so that's how I met Lex. And we met through shoes and we connected through our love for the culture. Lex was always into music. Lex was doing it before I was. That's why I always tell him Lex is the god, because he did it before I did. He was touring. He had his shit in check. Like, the guy had a vision and a marketing mind. I knew that when I first met Lex, you know. So I always admired him a little bit. Dope, and so it went to sneakers. I moved to New York as an adult, and I became the manager of Dunk Exchange. Literally, the event we went to.
Yeah.
I started putting it on in New York with Gary Hughes, and that's where my collecting journey, I think, evolved into fashion. And now I collect high-end fashion pieces. And
what are those frames, bro? Those are fire, by the way.
This is the Supreme John Paul gold tier frames that came out. So they're the gold version, and on the top here says Supreme and gold tier.
Oh, those are dope.
I still wear Supreme. Yeah, I still wear Supreme because, like, some people think it's cliche now and the hypebeasts have taken it over. But I think the hype has died down since that big-ass company bought them out. And now guys like us could wear Supreme without getting judged that we weren't skateboarders or whatever. Because I was a skateboarder. I was a skater punk when I was younger. And I mean, it was an era of my life where I was broke. But I definitely, Supreme was my first streetwear brand that I loved.
I remember going to the Supreme store in New York when it was just like a tiny store that had like very limited shirts, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's probably, when are we talking, early zeros or something? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And yeah. The Mercer Street, right? That was always the same one, or was it somewhere else?
It was somewhere else before that one, I think.
It was close to
early 2000s.
Close to the store. The Beastie Boys used to have a store around that same area, and then you had Supreme Clientele as well. There was another tiny store.
Yes, they had Clientele that was right across the street.
And then I think the Beasties had their store around the same location where the Supreme Clientele store was, if I'm not mistaken. I could be...
Is it Grand Royale? Yeah, was that the store? Did they call it Grand Royale?
Grand Royale era. But maybe Grand Royale became the Supreme Clientele store. I'm not sure about the exact location. But across the street was the Supreme store. And it was like it was almost like a hallway. I think the ceiling was pretty high. But they had like a limited selection of clothing and like shirts. So I used to love that. At a certain point, DJ Honda used to have a store as well. It was a little further down. I think it was on Broadway. But those are like 3 or 4 stores. And then you had two in Tokyo. Those were the stores I used to frequent in that area of New York. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I definitely think we should wear whatever the F we want. But I feel your backstory on the Supreme stuff. And actually, fun fact, I met Jean-Paul Gaultier at the MTV Awards in 2002 in Barcelona, Spain. Everybody wanted to take pictures with all the rock stars. And me and my man, we ran into Jean-Paul Gaultier. It was like, yo, let's take a picture. And he was all hyped up that we recognized him. Because, his brand is so famous, but a lot of people don't know his face. You know what I'm saying? And that was really cool. That was in 2002 when I...
That's a low-key sleeper, I feel like, at least in the culture.
Yo, that's some shit I would have done, bro. Like, if... Yo, because I love him. Like, that's something I would do. Like, if I was in a room, I'm not really impressed by, like... all these guys, because we look at them like peers, right? The rappers, the people in the music industry. But if I see Jean-Paul Gaultier, I'm geeking out, bro.
Yeah,
that was a dope moment, and that was in 2002, in November of that year when I won the MTV Award for Best Dutch Act. Anyway, but hey man, let me know about the ASAP Rocky story, bro. Because I mean, you sprinkled that in there, but I want to know more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How did you link up? How'd you link up with them, the whole crew, and everything?
Well. That's a long story, but I'm gonna try to keep it a bridge. I met ASAP Rocky through a friend of mine who's deceased. God rest his soul. His name was ASAP Josh, and me and ASAP Josh linked up, and he was kind of like an outsider kid, and I really liked him. He worked for the Yankees at that time, but I would chill with him a lot, and he used to tell me, "Hey man, I got this friend. You need to meet him. He rap really cool, just like you." And I'm like, I really wasn't feeling a lot of artists in New York City at that time. I think Red Cafe was hailed as the next big thing at that time. And my boys, Ninja Sonic, were like...
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
they had all the dope parties.
They were trying to push that, yeah. And so, for me, I wasn't really rocking with no one. It was either your extra lyricism or doing some left field shit, right? So, I didn't know what to do, my rap style at the time. And when I when I got him on the phone, because Josh was like, I'm gonna call him right now. So we were in Josh's room, and he gives me the phone. He's like, he's on the line, and the first thing he says on the phone, he's like, spit some shit for me, bro. and I'm like, oh, what's up, man? And but he's like, nah, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Spit some shit for me, bro. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I spit a bar for him, and he's like, nah, I want more. I gave him an actual bar, like not even a full sentence, because I thought it was kind of goofy style, like how he asked me out of nowhere. I don't even know this guy. But he's like, spit a whole verse. So I did it. I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this guy asking. So
do you remember that verse?
No, I don't. It's literally like, I think some shit I made up on the spot, but he liked it. And then I said, all right, dude, I rap for you, you rap for me, go ahead. So he rapped for me, and I actually liked the way he rapped, which is rare to find coming from a guy like me.
You a picky motherfucker, too.
Yeah, I'm a picky ass motherfucker. So I liked him, and we linked up later for like fashion night. We would go to ghetto gothic parties after that. I met Yams, who I know as Eastside Stevie. A lot of people know him as ASAP Yams. I never called that motherfucker Yams. And we kind of had like this dynamic, like big brother, little brother at the time. And I knew he was gonna blow up. I would tell people this, and they would make fun of me. They would be like, you're supporting that kid? Nah. I was like, I just feel like everyone was in competition with each other, and that's like just a form of, I don't want that guy to make it, so I'm gonna project shit onto Rocky or whatever. And so that's the way I take it when people told me that, because there was a lot of backlash back then in our little community about him making it. They would say shit about him, like calling him gay because he had relaxed hair. I wasn't really rocking with that shit. And I would go to his shows, and no one would rock with him, but I would be rocking with him. So we became really close-knit. I knew the ASAP was a crew, but I was never part of ASAP. But I always loved Rocky, and he was like a little brother to me, including Eastside Stevie Yams. And he blew up. He got signed, right? And I waited years for Stevie to hit me up to work with him. Sadly, Stevie passed away, which is something in my stories you'll hear a lot. A lot of important people passed away during our time. But his management hit me up, and they're like, hey, Rocky sampled one of your songs. And I'm like, really? He did? He's like, yeah, he sampled Visor, and he wants to put it on his album. So legalities took over a course of months, and I wanted to talk to Rocky, and I never got to talk to Rocky because they told me business is business. Artists do not deal in business. I met him later at Art Basel, and the album was about to come out. The album was called The Law. And I'm hearing the album for the first time when it came out. I didn't even listen to the song. And what he did with him was magical. I really like that song, actually. When I listen to A Law and I want to go to a song, I go to my song that I produce and Rocky's voice on it. That's how much I love that song. And when I saw him in person, he just smiled at me and hugged me and told me, thank you for letting me rap over your shit, motherfucker. And some people be like, are you mad he didn't put you on more or any of that shit? I don't really think about none of that shit. I'm just happy people remember you from the time where you guys were eating $1 sandwiches. And nobody owe you shit in this world. And to me, that was just love that he showed me. And I got a lot of jobs after that. I did a lot of ghostwriting, a lot of ghost producing in New York the next 5 years after that. But that's another story. But if I see Rocky till this day when I see him, what's up, motherfucker? How you been? You got kids now? You married Rihanna? Oh, wow. Like.
Right. That's crazy. Who would have thought?
Man, that's a dope story, though, man. And thank you for sharing that, man. Hey, yo. Let's get into the collectibles again. So we heard your backstory, and Lex been talking about you on camera, but also he spoke highly of you off camera about what you're doing with the grading side, on the grading side of things. So shall we get into that, Lex?
Yeah, actually, Give me. All right. So first of all, the first company is CAS, and CAS does the toy grading, and they do other things too, right?
Yeah.
Media,
like DVDs, the movie side of things, and all that.
Okay, dope. And the new company. Tell me about the new company. I know you guys started this new company. Who's involved in this new company?
So, this all started when I got hired at CAS, and when I got hired, I told them I have some ideas. I want to change the industry. I want to revolutionize it. The CAS guys were like, "Who the hell is this guy? Why is he talking this way? Why is he so?" Yeah, like you know what I mean? When people just meet you and they're just like, "Who the fuck are you?" You know, like. And to me, people just kind of, when they hear people with confidence like that, they get taken back because they don't have that confidence, I feel. And so when I said that, I meant that because even in music, I didn't get to go to where I wanted to go in music. I was thinking of other ways I could create, because I think that's what my whole life is about, creativity and creating something new. So I wanted to make my mark in the collectibles industry. I wanted to create a new medium. I wanted to create a new product. And I wanted to do it with the most influential person in music in the collectibles community. So my crazy ass got on Instagram and hit up Steve Aoki. Now, Steve Aoki in the collectibles industry and
wait, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna bring that back real quick. So you hit up Steve Aoki?
Yes.
Without ever knowing him?
No.
Without having like a blue check or 50 billion followers, you slid in the DMs?
Yes.
And he hit you back?
Yes.
You know how incredibly rare some shit like that is, right?
You have to have the pitch of a lifetime to make that happen. And
you were like, hold on, oh no, I'm confused. I was gonna be like, oh, isn't rare era your thing? But that's Joey Badass and shit, right? That is some rare era shit though. That is some once in a lifetime shit. I just wanted to highlight that because
I'm thankful you did that, and not to cut you off, but I want to know that pitch of a lifetime though. What did you type, bro?
Yeah.
Well, it sounded crazy to him, but I think I just hit him up and said, Steve, I just saw you on some YouTube video, and you said you wish someone did music grading. Well, I work at a grading company, and I think if you use our infrastructure and we use your marketing, we have something. Because I think if you brought it into the collectibles market, it would get way more buzz, and we could use your industry connections. I have industry connections, and we can make this something really dope. So you would think that would go to his DMs, and he has like 1 million DMs, and it would get ignored. And the crazy part of this story, I think he hit me up minutes later. I'm talking like you sent it, and then you're in your bed like, yeah, that'll never get seen. And then you look at your phone, and it's like, Steve Aoki just DM'd you, and you're like,
oh shit.
You're like, what? To me, that was like a moment like, is that him, or did I DM the wrong person?
That's crazy.
So I opened it, and he said, who are you? What the fuck are you talking about? I'd never heard of CAS. Explain some of this shit to me. Are you for real? And he was just asking me general questions. I'm like, dude, I am not fucking lying. Like, I am at this company, and I could see a vision for this where it works.
That's crazy.
And he started digging. Me and him started just talking back and forth. What will we do with this? What type of cases will we do? How will we come out? Like, who are these people? Talk about the owners. Like, just really stuff that he wanted to know if I was legit or not. I gave him the website. He looked through. He looked at the toy grading, which he didn't know what was happening. He got into toy grading.
That's crazy.
It kind of snowballed.
So dope.
And it got to a point where we had to meet his business partner and got with the CAS owners. And Steve Aoki owns 50% of AMG. CA owns the other part. I am the director of business and marketing. So anyone that wants to do business with AMG, I am the main guy. And everything you'll see in marketing coming up with something very historic is coming up that I talked to Lex about. I can't talk about in this episode.
Can you talk about it?
Oh, man.
What can you say? What can you say?
All I can say is that it's going to be one of the most expensive vinyls ever sold, and hip-hop did it.
All right. Can I say something? We'll cut this out if you say it's not good. I'm not going to say names, not going to say anything. All I'm going to say that he did tell me, and it's, if you're a collector and you could think of the top of what could be collectible according to one of the biggest artists in the world, one of the most rarest records from that artist.
Oh, man.
I mean, like, crazy.
Hey, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
You guys, crazy. Off camera, you guys are going to have to tell me what it is after we finish recording.
It's crazy. I'm not saying...
I got you, BP. I got you.
I'm not saying no genres. I'm not saying anything.
Once it's not recording, you and me could sign the waiver.
We'll do that.
Yeah. It's dope, though, and it's enough to get you hyped. Enough to get me hyped. You know what I'm saying? So, it's really fire.
You'll see it soon. It's in our possession, and I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe of what I've done myself. Wow. I don't know how I'm doing this.
I'm in awe, bro. I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm doing this, honestly. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I could pretty much tell you it's just confidence. That's it. Anyone out there listening to this podcast, I don't know if it's one listener or we go viral, but just be confident, and I think shit just happens.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, man. You just gotta stick the course.
Man, that's really one of the big secrets, even in life, man. Like, you know, be confident, not cocky. You know, that's the thing. Just bet on yourself, and it's people can say that, but to actually feel that energy and act on it is something else. And you know, sometimes you have those vibes and you can follow up on it, and sometimes you don't. But I think if you look, even if you look at a movie like 8 Mile, you know, and even Back to Purple Rain, it's all about that stuff. You know, it's like, you know, tap into yourself and really, you know, believe in what you're doing, and then like you said, be confident. You know, does that make any sense?
No,
100%.
It makes perfect sense.
It's I say this all the time. When I think of like the most successful shit I did, I was just blindly confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't thinking or caring how good I may be, how technical it may have been. Nothing. I just did it. I went and I did it. You know what I'm saying? I remember selling CDs on the street. I didn't bring a boombox, nothing. I brought all my homies in my group, and we went and we spent the whole year to sell 10,000 CDs, and we lived off of that money. And I was blindly confident, trying to just convince people to buy my CD, and so were the guys. And we were able to tour, perform, and do all this shit. And I tell you what, I was, in my opinion, the least good out of anyone in my crew. You know what I'm saying? They were all better than me, but I walked around like I was the shit because I was just blindly confident, and that's just able to really finesse the things that I wanted to do based off of confidence, you know? But if you lose that confidence, it becomes really hard to just get back to that point.
It'll break you, you know? Especially I tell people that reach out to me and tell me, oh, how are you doing this? And what the fuck, dude? And it's just incredible. Like, how? They ask you how, and that's my only answer to them. I'm like, dude, I really have no answer for you except that when I walk into a room, people are watching me, and they're watching my words, and it's inspiring them. And that's all it really takes.
Yep.
And I can't help you in that. It just has to be something inside of you. It's the reason all of us go on the stage and we're not scared to showcase who we are. Pain, love, hate, all that shit has to do with our persons inside. And I feel like as creatives, that leaks out through any other medium that we can create.
I totally believe that, and I think it's you don't necessarily have to verbalize it or define it. It's confidence. You have to be able to back it up with spirit and some type of skill, but it's mostly the energy that doesn't lie. You know, spirit, you can't fake spirit, and energy doesn't lie, you know, and combine that with confidence and skill. I think that's kind of like the alchemy of those kind of secret vibes that makes up those kind of energies, if that still makes any sense. You know.
No, precisely, BP. You just said it. Yeah, because you can't have confidence without the skill level.
You gotta back it up.
You gotta back it up. You know, if you say you're a ill ass MC, I want to see that shit. If you say you're a badass pitchman, I want to see you pitch. I want to see you become Steve Jobs on that fucking stage. You know,
exactly, man. But that's a phenomenal story. You just hit Steve Aoki in a DM, and then he hit you back, and you guys work together. And man, let's get into that grading of collectibles some more, man. That shit is crazy.
I got a Steve Aoki story, and this is really funny because I will forever remember Steve Aoki. I got two Steve Aoki stories. One is whatever.
I want to hear this.
Fresh off a tour, and I just came back to Florida after getting that record. The first show I did, one of my friends booked Steve Aoki in Pompano in this theater, in this big theater.
Yeah.
And he played the instrumental of my song, and we went and we performed it. That was the first and only time I ever took my shirt off on stage. Ever. That's my Steve Aoki story. And then I went up to him.
Did you get that shirt graded though?
Nah.
Rob, you gotta grade that shirt.
And then
I want to know the reaction from the audience.
Listen, there's a video of that somewhere. There's a video. They recorded that, and there's a video of me topless, and that's the only. My wife hasn't even seen me topless.
Your confidence was on one that night, bro.
I was on 150 trillion. There were so many people there. It was just a fucking sweatbox, bro. Like you live in Florida.
That's why that drove you to the edge.
Yo, you know what an overpacked club in Florida? Like and like the AC can't win. Nothing wins. It's just like sweat dripping from the ceiling.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then the other story is I ended up doing a song that came out on his label under
on Dimac.
On Dimac, yeah. It was with a producer named Sluggo, and we did like a group for like 2 seconds. It was called Goon Squad.
So you did business with Steve.
Yeah, I never met him. I never got paid, but I really honestly I didn't. I didn't. Me not getting paid has nothing to do with him. You know, I just did vocals for a joint and they released it. You know what I'm saying? I also did that same year I did a song on Skrillex's label that I never saw any money for either. But whatever, that's not the reason. I just
we're not here to talk about the industry politics.
It was I wanted to do it. It was a dope look. I did it, and it's on the resume.
When you come chill with me and we have like an AMG thing, I'm introduce you to Steve and we'll get you your back pay, all right?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. He could autograph my chest.
There you go. Take off your shirt and we'll autograph your chest. Grade the chest.
So Rob.
So listen. Rob brought some shit for us to check out.
Hey.
He brought some prototypes. Prototypes?
Nah.
Can we call them prototypes?
Well, I should have brought the prototypes to show you how it looked before. I have them in the house. Jesus, I didn't think about that. But these are, I guess you could call them the iPhone 1s of these cases. I like this cassette case. You know what, Lex? I'm going to let you show them on your side, and I'll talk about them.
Because I want to definitely...
Yeah, because I want you to feel them.
Brain, I'm going to show you first. Can you see it?
So that right there is the cassette case.
Before you go into it, AMG, what does AMG stand for?
Audio Media Grading.
All right.
You go to the site, Audio Media Grading, you make an account. You could use the Discogs links to see what press that you have of a record. You can't do it on CDs because when CDs were made, you can't have people are sending us CDs and saying, oh, it's a first pressing. You can't have a first pressing of a CD because when a CD is printed out, it's printed out on different coasts. West Coast gets an order, East Coast gets an order. And then they said, I'm talking about mass releases, like not independent artists like us who you can maybe say that for. But for the most part, that's the first cassette right there.
Is this your tape, personal tape?
That's my friend's tape.
Okay.
But I'm going to give it to him as his present. He's going to see this probably and be like, give me my damn tape.
Yo, this is dope. So we're looking at a Denzel Curry, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's a 10.
It's graded at 10. So that's like mint condition.
It's graded at 10.
Still in the seal. No dents, nothing, no scratches. Like what is...
So I'm going to explain what a 10 looks like. I mean, what does it it really looks flawless. Like the shrink wrap, the case, everything is good. And yeah, this is dope. I mean, you know, I always geek when I see graded things because it makes them look so important, so official. You know, you put the case on it, now you got a number on it. Yeah, this thing is incredible. This is really, really dope.
So let me talk about the grading scale on a cassette. They all have different, you know, the grading scale is 1 through 10, and pretty much you could get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is no half grades, but our grader, our master grader, when we looked at different mediums, each medium must be graded differently. Sealed, unsealed, 70s 8-tracks, vintage vinyl compared to new age vinyl, 180 milligram. Like, there's different types of blemishes and stuff that can be on something. Now, for cassettes, you have to have a perfect shrink wrap. There can be no blotches, a misprint, a little tear on it will cause it down to go to a 9. Cracks on the case, so even your case, it can't have any cracks. It's gonna go down major. A major crack could get you down to a 7. A major crack, little cracks, you might get down 9, 8. But if you got a major crack on it, you might go down to 5. We had one guy turn into his Nas-O-Matic, right? Had a giant crack in the front. I'm talking from the top corner to bottom corner.
But it was sealed?
It was sealed. He got a 5.
Ooh.
Damn. Doesn't matter on that record because it's sealed. I think some things you'll see that no one really cares if it has a crack or not. I mean, if it's sealed, it's sealed. That means it's still unused. And that's a pretty big album to have sealed. So it doesn't matter to me if it has a crack.
No, listen, I agree. Actually, I got some stuff I want to send back with you to grade, if that's cool.
No, it's not. No,
I got some stuff. You know what? I didn't even think to pull it out for this. Actually, it's easily accessible. You guys can continue to talk. I'm going to grab it real quick.
So, BP.
Yeah. Show me
I brought the vinyl one. I'm going to show you the vinyl one, man. So, this is the vinyl.
Oh, wow.
It's really big. So,
yeah.
It fills up the screen.
We catch it.
Now, the cool thing about the label, we based our scale on like PSA. Right. The cool thing about the label is that you could put the track listing on the back. And this has Method Man's whole biography on the back. It has a QR code, hologram, and when people scan this, I think right there.
Yeah.
When people scan the QR code, it'll take them to our website, and it'll show you that it was authenticated and graded by us, and it'll give you a whole layout.
Wow, that's fantastic. So for the people that don't know, it's based on PSA DNA, if I'm not mistaken.
The grading scale, but for vinyl, the gold mine standard is what we use. Our master grader used that to show what's an 8, what's a 7. But the PSA scale is pretty much saying we don't use halves. Like 9.5 doesn't exist in our system. 8.5, you know. But the gold mine standard is the vinyl standard of excellent, BG plus. You already know when we go to the record store, but that's what it's based on.
Okay, I thought you meant the PSA, the way they grade autograph pictures and stuff like that, you know, and they grade autograph.
Yeah, and when we do have all the labels have different colors. Like if your stuff has an autograph, like this Pusha T, it's almost dry album. I don't know if you can see it there. It has a gold label. And it doesn't have a red or a green one. A green one is unsealed, red is sealed, and gold is autograph. Gotcha. So those are the different color labels you got. And this one, even if the autograph is inside the CD, we will label it gold.
That's great. That's great.
I don't have an 8-track because I'm going to keep it real. I never heard an 8-track in my life. And my partner, Ken Black, who pretty much R&D'd all this stuff, I can't give him enough credit. He is pretty much my Wozniak. Any crazy, stupid idea I have, he will come up with. I'll draw it out, and he'll figure it out.
Yo, Lex, you're back, so let me know what you got.
Yeah, so I got a few things. This is kind of sus to me. This is a Jizza Words from the Genius. I bought this sealed a long time ago on eBay. Now I'm looking at the seal on it. This thing looks like it was re-shrunk wrap because it looks pretty sloppy. What do you think about that? Because I never seen what the Words from the Genius CD may have looked like, or tape, I mean.
All right, so let me explain this. So record stores took returns back in the days. So someone must have not liked this album, which Genius's first album, okay. If you heard it, it's kind of Mm-hmm. They were kind of making them go flashy. So yeah, this is a reseal. And they took it back to the store, and they had a little machine in the back of the store, and they would just put it in there, and they would reseal it in this manner.
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to get this graded, but I don't know. What do you think?
Me personally, that is not something I want graded.
And why wouldn't you want this graded?
Because, yes, it's Jizza's rookie album. I'd rather have that signed unsealed than sealed like that and find Jizza one day to sign it. I do, and you know me, Liquid Swords is my all-time favorite album, but I wouldn't grade it, and I'm a big Jizza fan. Number 2 MC on my all-time list.
I got doubles of this.
I'm not grading mine till Jizza's signature is on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your advice at that. That was a high contender for me.
Yeah.
I got this. Oh, it's got a fucking crack on it, but I got 3 copies of it. So I got this right here. Do you know what this is? Nas, King's Disease 3.
Yeah.
Gold tape.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is obviously a grading candidate.
All right, so wait, here. I got 3, so I need you to help me make the decision. And I accidentally bought these, by the way.
You accidentally bought these?
I really did.
You accidentally buy 3 of these?
When it dropped, I bought 2, and then I bought the bundle, not knowing the tape came in the bundle.
Right.
So
order homies in the building.
You see the scuffs here?
Yeah.
That takes down the grade, so you're gone. And I'm not the grader, fellas.
But you've been around the shit.
I just learned from their grader, Brian Florin. He teaches me this stuff. I'm like, why did you give this a 9? Why did you give this an 8? And Brian will be like, you missed this. You know, oh, okay.
Do they give it a wipe or anything before they?
Brian, yeah, he'll give it a wipe. Like, obviously on the cellophane, you gotta it's microfiber, really lightly, trying to see if there were blemishes on it.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Okay. All right. So, and now we're going to skip the tapes for a second.
Hey.
I got this 50 Cent Bulletproof.
This is such a classic game, dude. BP, I don't know if you play this game, bro, but I have so many fun memories of this game.
I think I have it.
Love this game,
I think I have
dude.
it on, was it the UMD, the Universal Media Disc, the ones for the PlayStation, portable PlayStation?
Yo, fun fact, I just found out about this game last year.
Found out about this game?
Yeah.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Oh, Lord. This is up there with Def Jam Bandetta, man. Like, this game
during
is
that
classic,
time, I was in the street, bro. Like, I was outside.
All right.
Like, a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't around for none of that shit.
Yeah, to me, yeah, just the nostalgia on this, because I played this shit to death when I had the system. And yeah, this is a grading candidate because it's such a really cool thing to have in acrylic.
I'm gonna hand you these 3 tapes.
Okay.
They actually all have sentimental value. So these are definite. I don't even care what they come back as. Yeah. I want them graded.
Killer Army, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. An album that was very controversial in Wu-Tang circles because you got Deck, Master Killer were all mad that these guys came out before their solo projects, and RZA was putting in a lot of resources and a lot of Wu Elements guys on this stuff. But great album.
Yep, I love
Big
that
Pun's
album.
Yay Baby. Pun died. To me, it underwhelmed me when it came out, but lots of nostalgia in this album. Great first single. So yeah, that's great. Oh. This is the holy grail,
bro.
This is a holy grail for me. I did not even see this when you handed me this pile, but wow. I would grade this in a heartbeat.
Yeah. You showed me this before, Lex.
Sealed Big Pun's Capital Punishment. Such a fucking holy grail in my mind. It's top 10. If you know me, Pun, I love Pun, and he is greatly missed. I wish he was still alive, but this album meant a lot to me. One of my favorite tracks was Tres Leches on this album, and Beware. Just it kicks in. Such a great album.
Yo.
So yeah, this must be graded.
Yeah, man. Hey. Those are my candidates. I have a J. Rue the Damage, Wrath of the Math sealed. I
love Black Cowboys on that album. I always have a favorite track. You mention an album, I'll give you the track I love.
So the Big Pun is special to me. So yes. I definitely wanted to get that graded.
It'll be a pop one. That's the first one someone would have in there. So I'll get it to you, and you guys could do a show when you get it back.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
Dope, man.
Well, we definitely will.
I got a couple of. I hope the connection will stay on from my side. I got a couple of tapes right here. So Rob, check this out. This is NWA and the Posse sealed.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
It's sealed. It says low price $7.99. I'm gonna show it for the camera.
Oh wow!
So so that's it's still
that is
in the packaging.
A good candidate.
Damn, bro, that's clean too, bro. From what I just saw, that looks clean.
It's a sale price of $6.99.
Wow. Is that but that's $6.99 American, or is that
$6.99 American? I think I bought it for a bit more. No, I bought it for $6.99. So it's still sealed. And
now BP, you bought that one in America, right?
Yeah, I copped it in America. I took it back home. Yeah.
All right, cool. Our researchers will figure out if it's a reissue or it's one of the first tapes released.
Yeah. We got to figure that out. Let me check the sides.
Do you remember what year you copped it? $6.99 seems like a sale price.
Yeah, I copped this about probably 10 years ago, but it does say 1989 priority record, so it's not the first pressing because I think this came out earlier. But this is it could be an '89 original though. So it's probably one of the earlier pressings. Not the first one, but or do you even call this a pressing if it's a tape? I don't know.
I mean, we don't say that. We just know that there's things on Discogs, and Discogs is the Bible for people like us. Mm-hmm. It's all the information you need. It'll tell you if a tape had the time marks, that's the first pressing, or it was released in the year of his inception, of the release of the record.
Mm-hmm. So
that's dope.
That's a good one. And then this is not a hip hop album, but it's an Earth, Wind and Fire one, and it's actually one of the earlier albums.
Is that orange?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
The whole thing is orange.
Yeah. And
that's pretty cool.
And it's actually, I think it's a German tape, but it's like completely sealed. I bought it for $2, actually on my block in Amsterdam. But it's an original. I think it's the first or the second album.
The packaging is fire.
This is why I fuck with him, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is so like left. It will be the only one ever graded then if it's from Germany.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I got that. I would love to get that graded. And then I got 3 more things I want to show you. This is an album. Right. This is an album sampler. It's Organized Confusion Equinox.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to my big bro Pharaoh Munch. Always. It's completely sealed, never opened. It's really like mint condition as far as you can get anything mint from that era. It's really not dented or scratched. You know what I mean? But that's
really hard.
That's something I would want to get graded. Also because I got this in New York when I was at Priority. Back in, I think, 97. I got it from them directly, in the office. Dude. So it's like, I have another one that's...
Those are rare, dude. Yeah, samplers are coming in, and it's literally people that have worked at the labels that send these samplers in. They're like, I used to work at a label in the 90s. I'm like, I know why you send all these samplers in.
Yeah, and they gave me the sampler, and I can't remember the lady's name. She gave me the sampler, a couple of these. She gave me a press kit and all that. Because I met Munch in 97, and we kind of stayed in touch over the years, and we still, frequently chat every now and then. So that's another one I wanted to show you. And then I got 2 more. This is a original Fight the Power cassette single that I got this in Amsterdam back in 80. No, I don't know if it's Amsterdam or...
That's dope.
At least it was in Holland, but I got it in 89. It's the original Fight the Power cassette single. But it's been used, you know what I'm saying? I used to play this all day, every day. So
yeah.
What was the record store, or like the main chain record store in Amsterdam? Was it a Virgin Records or something? Or
we used to have that, but before that it was always the Free Record Shop. That was the name. the free record shop. I don't know why they named it that, because records weren't free, but you know, it was the name of one of the most popular stores, and we had a lot of like dope ass stores. Like in the 90s, you had Fat Beats Amsterdam. We used to have Rhythm Import. We used to have Backbeat. We used to have Blackbeat. We used to have Atalos. We used to have like a bunch of great stores. But like as far as bigger chains go, we had one called Fame. And then later on we had the Virgin Mega Store, but before that it was the free record shop. When you weren't living in the city, all throughout like the country, there were free record shops. And there are so many great record stores, bro. Concerto is one of the most famous record stores in Amsterdam that people just love. And then you got Plato, Plato. You would say Plato, but we say Plato. That's a popular store. So yeah, there are a bunch of record stores. Back in the days, Free Record Shop was a big name. So this, man, hey Rob, check this out. I'm gonna show it for the camera first, and then I'll show you guys. So this is a signed tape that Grandmaster Kaz signed to me. So it's to BrainPower, signed by Grandmaster Kaz. It's actually the battle, the '81 Harlem World Battle. Hold on,
we lost you.
Well, no, he's right there. He's right there.
All right.
So it's the '81.
He signed that.
It's the '81 Harlem World Battle, Cold Crush versus Fantastic 5, and yeah, it's like, you know, it's not cracked. I bought it directly from Grandmaster Kaz, and it came with his card, bro. It still has the card in it. You know, it's the actual. You got that. You need
that's hip hop history. I might need to send that to the museum after I grade it, though.
Yo, so that's one of my prized possessions. I have the picture of when I bought it from Grandmaster Kaz in Amsterdam. So this is official, original. I just did a tour for 28 days where I teach, you know, people about the origins of hip hop, me and DJ TLM, and this is one of the things that I show the kids, you know what I mean, and the fans.
Yeah, that's dope. He did a theater tour, bro.
Well, yeah, I'd be honored to grade that and send it back to you guys. Hip Hop Museum would probably want it, but
I bought it mid '90s though. He used to still sell like his
but it's tapes from Kaz, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never even seen that tape anywhere.
I think I bought it early '97, late '96, early '97, and so my fans and a lot of different supporters, and also just people in general that go to those colleges, like we do the college shows where we TLM and me speak about hip hop. I show this tape, you know what I mean? So
that's the type of shit that really gets me interested. That is hip hop history
for real
that BP is holding in his hand. You know, that's crazy. A moment in time.
What does that shit sound like, bro?
It sounds good, man. It's just that classic battle. The '81 battle,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. I've never heard it,
bro.
I mean, I know nothing about it. So,
bro, it's basically essential material. And you know, the Cold Crush Brothers versus Fantastic Five, the part from a freaking Wild Style, you know, where they battle a cappella. But this is like the battles the way they used to do it with music, because that battle about basketball is a cappella. And you guys still hear me though? The camera's going off and on, but. So this is the '81 Harlem World Battle, Cold Crush versus Fantastic. And you know that Grand Wizard Theodore is one of the MCs in the Fantastic Five, right? So, I mean, that's like, this is like, bro, this is just one of my favorite tapes, one of my prized possessions that I have on cassette. You know, I don't know, I don't really care if it's worth much financially. To me, spiritually, it's essential when you really love hip-hop culture. You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the grade doesn't matter on these things. You just want to preserve it in case that shit falls off your shelf or you lose it or someone even finds it one day. Let's say when we're all gone from this earth, it's right there. It says what it is in case no one knows what it is. It could be donated to a museum, and that's the part of this that I actually just preserving the legacy of music in general, any genre.
And man, thank you. And you know, I just wanted to share that because honestly, I bought it, I think, really January '97 from Kaz himself when he was in Amsterdam. But you know what? I kind of lost it, and it was in my basement for decades. And then I found it like,
oh my God,
I found it like a year ago or something, and I was like, oh,
that's crazy,
shit. And it's really in great state. Like it's not diminished or anything. It's fresh. It's crisp. It's not cracked. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It was lost in time. You found it. And now you found me.
Yeah, exactly. we gotta get that graded, bro.
No, it's definitely send it to I'll give Lex the address, and you can send it straight to my facility, and I'll send it back out to you.
Great, man. And one thing though, like that collectors are like, you know, tripping about is like, how do you make sure you don't lose the stuff you send, especially from overseas, like a tape like that? You know what I mean? Like, damn, right?
It's a tricky situation, but just ensure your stuff. Make sure it's sent to the right address. So far, no packages have been lost, even from a couple overseas collectors that have sent us things. I don't know what post you use, but everything's coming in fine. But I would say definitely insure your stuff in case that emergency horrible thing happens. Some people prefer to fly in and come into our lobby and
man, Rob,
deliver
you know
it directly.
What? Maybe me and Lex should link up and fly out to you with these tapes in my hand, because I would even rather do that than just send it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't blame you.
It is.
I mean, I understand that.
Yeah, I understand
and
that.
we got it documented and posted on YouTube, bro. Like that's
some people do that. It's happened already a few times where people like, dude, I just don't want to send you this shit. I'm flying to you, and some major shit has come in. I can't even talk about some other stuff that's happening, right. But trust me, we're going to be the PSA of music grading in this industry, and this is how, even to me, bringing hip hop to the forefront, because the stuff that's getting submitted the most is hip hop.
Yeah,
90s golden era. I'm talking sealed purple tapes.
You know why? I think that's because it means the most to people. I think, right now. I mean, I'm sure it's a broad statement. Everyone has their own attachments to things, but I think the 90s golden era hip hop is just extremely special on cassette, because the culture of hip hop really glorified cassettes a lot.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, hip hop spread on cassette in the early days, and that's if you speak to the greats about this, they'll tell you that. Like, it's not even from a documentary or a book. You could read that as well, but like having met like Flash and Herc and Gaz, I mean, cassettes were so essential to the culture, bro. Like, especially even for me overseas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd go to the States every now and then if you were blessed enough, but most of the time some homie would have a tape, then he taped the show. Even in the 90s, bro, like a Funkmaster Flex show, and we would all tape it and dub it so everybody could hear it, because there was no other way but that, because it was pre-internet, you know what I mean? So
with that, I want to announce something on your podcast that I haven't talked about. And August 8th, in the lead up to the Hip Hop 50 show at Yankee Stadium, AMG is going to do a cassette show, a hip hop cassette show at Bleecker Trading, August 8th, 6 to 9 p.m. And it's just graded hip hop cassettes with heritage auctions. And I'm really proud of that event, and I gotta be there, and I'm gonna just show out in New York. And anyone that loves hip hop and is attending industry events that week, just come through.
That's dope, yo. Well, y'all heard it first over here. Make sure to follow Vulcan.
No, you could follow me at AMG Robbie. Like, that's my artist name out there.
Okay, my bad. AMG Robbie. I'm getting the lines blurred.
And if you want to follow AM Grading, it's just AM Grading. It's called AMG, but that's the handle is everywhere. So AM Grading. I'm pretty sure Lex will put a little thing here on the video. Follow it.
Can you show us the vinyl real quick before we go? I know we've been on for a minute.
Yeah, I showed it to BP, but go ahead. And, boom.
Yeah, he just took.
This is dope,
bro. That's fire.
And I feel like he brought this for me. Because he knows that I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan.
Yes, sir.
So what better than to show me this Method Man Tikal album? And this is a 2014 release of Tikal on Def Jam. It's a 20th anniversary reissue. Damn, 2014 felt like ages ago, and it was 20
almost 10 years
then.
ago.
Oh man,
it's crazy, right? It's crazy, bro. Please don't start to go down that rabbit hole right now. We'll do that off camera.
No. Yeah, but this has a holographic cover, and this got an 8. And I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I just lost the light.
Now we're dark, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I like this album because it has the holographic cover, just like a baseball card, and that's why I picked it. My original Method Man 1994 is open. I'm looking for a seal one. Anyone out there that has a sealed 94 Method Man Tikal, and I'm playing all my open stuff.
Yeah,
the sealed stuff, I'm going to grade it and get it all signed. I want the entire Wu-Tang Clan's autographs on all their solo, and that's my personal PC right now. I'm gonna get all my seal stuff signed by the actual artist and have the world's largest signed hip hop collection. That's what I want to do, including BP. Send me something signed to you, because I'm gonna grade that too. Lex, you're also on the list. Anyone I meet from now on is got to give me something sealed and signed.
You'll leave with some dope shit today. I got you.
I could grade it.
I got you, Rob, no doubt. And you know what, man? Like Lex, you got to show him later on. Like I have the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers album that Method Man signed, and that particular album ended up in the Reunited.
No.
It ended up in the Reunited video. So Method Man signed it for me. In the 90s.
He showed it last time. Yo, and crazy, bro. So dope.
You can screen match it. You can screen match it. I got
show it after we get off.
Yeah, I'll show you.
When we talk about the stuff we can't talk about, he got to show me.
I'll show you. So just to double back on what he said, because I definitely want to shout this out and why I think the grading is so important. Because as far as preserving your stuff, archiving it, keeping it, and having it last at least the duration of your life for sure, and who knows how long it's going to last after that, he's right. The back of this actually has like a bio, and it talks about this record. It talks about what you have graded here, just so whoever else this may fall into, if they don't know what it is, they'll be able to understand what it is. And there's a QR code. Where does that QR code take you?
Leads you to our website with a picture of the front and the back of the album, and when it was graded and it was verified and authenticated.
Very dope. Very, very dope. Very dope.
There's also some new technology that I can't talk about once again, but we're advancing this. This is the first iPhone, like I told you guys, but I'll talk to you about what we got coming in technology-wise on the slab.
Well, Brain, do you have any last words, man?
Man, I got a lot of last words, but I think we need to continue the conversation off camera. Man, Rob, it's been a pleasure. It's nice meeting you once again. Much love and respect to you. Thank you for your time, sharing your experiences and everything with me and Lex One. I gotta say Lex One and me, because me and Lex and me, we're just the hoarder homies doing collect calls, and this is Bro Hype number 5. I'm touring right now, but I always take time off to link up with my brother Lex One, get that paper son or get that trade done. Hey Rob, we got mad love for you. We're gonna link and connect more. I definitely look forward to meeting you in real life, and everybody that's been watching. Lex, you take it from here, bro.
Yo, make sure you guys follow us, and wherever you're watching this, I'm going to make sure to put links in the description, in the bio. Make sure to stay tuned in. Make sure to stay tapped in. There's a lot of dope stuff coming from everybody over here. Thanks for watching, and peace.